Hi, my name is Abby Allen, and I am a product manager who recently completed the Empower Women's Global Leadership Challenge. And I'm here to recommend it to anyone who is interested in really embracing your own style of leadership and bringing it to your day to day work. I think one of the biggest things that I learned as part of this challenge is that showing up to work every day in a way that actually is authentic, in a way that reflects the things that you care about most, is enough, right? That is a thing that you can really lean into and you can really use to empower not only yourself but the people around you. Sam asked me to share a few of my stories. And I was recently working for a company that I really enjoyed the work. I really enjoyed my job, but I was approached by another that has a great reputation in the industry for being very equitable, inclusive, and diverse. It's called PagerDuty, and we went through the interview process, and things seemed pretty good. But I, was concerned by a few Glassdoor reviews. And one of the things that Empower Global gave me the courage to do was to take all of those Glassdoor reviews that talked about things like it being a good old boys club and middle management and there being just some very sexist and kind of strange behavior going on. And I brought all of those Glassdoor reviews together and I sent them to the hiring manager and said, hey, can I interview a little bit about these things? Can we talk about these concerns and what would you do if I had them, if I come to the company and I realize, no, these things are actually going on. They haven't been addressed 18 months ago, like some of these Glassdoor reviews have been. And it took a lot of courage to do that. I was worried that by putting my values so out there and saying like, hey, I want to make sure that if I'm joining this company, it's going to be a safe place for me as a woman, I was worried I might lose the offer. But actually the exact opposite happened. And the new hiring manager was incredibly receptive. In fact, the entire email that I sent got sent all the way up to a co-founder of the company and across the HR department. And I received a really warm response back that made me feel really, really comfortable with taking the position. So now I will be starting as the senior PM of platform notifications at PagerDuty. And I'm really, really excited about the opportunity. I have so much to thank the challenge for just giving me that courage and helping me really live those values out. The one other story I really want to share with you is again kind of that it's okay to just live it, right? To just be out there and be yourself and bring those values to work every day because other people are watching and other people get inspired by it too. As a PM, I'm responsible for making a lot of decisions about what features go into a product. And we had a particular feature at my last company, which was in the gig economy. So we have drivers that do deliveries, and we had been asked to allow our customers to rate those drivers and then have those ratings influence who would be considered first for new opportunities on the platform. And while on the surface that sounds like, well, yeah, doesn't everybody do that? Wouldn't that be a great feature? We don't actually have a lot of inputs into that ranking algorithm just yet. We're very, very early on in the journey of putting that algorithm together. And knowing what I know, knowing what I learned a lot of from the class about implicit bias and just the way that these things manifest themselves, I stood up in a meeting with senior leadership and said, no, I don't want to do this. I don't feel comfortable with putting this feature in the product because I'm afraid it's going to hurt our black and brown drivers. I'm afraid it's going to hurt the women on our platform who might be perceived as, not as strong and therefore, not as good at, delivering these heavy things that our customers are asking for them to deliver. And as I was on my way out the door of this most recent company, the QA manager stood up and said, Abby, that's my favorite memory of you. I'm so glad that you did that and that you were able to lead by example that way. And then my proud moment on the way out, my second to last day at work, this feature request came up again in a meeting with the entire company. And I wasn't the one who had to stand up to say it. This QA manager, his name is Faisal, he's also a fantastic leader. He stood up and he advocated for why we shouldn't do this feature, at least until we had more other quantitative things to kind of balance out those potential biases. And the whole company stood up and they all listened and they respected him for it. And I don't know if he would have had the courage to do that if I hadn't said it first. And like I said, it was just this very, very proud mama moment of just knowing that my legacy is going to live on there through some of the leadership choices that I made and that legacy that I'm leaving behind. So if you're considering joining the program, please do. It'll change your life. It'll change the way you look at work. It will give you a community of women to bounce ideas off of you, to challenge you, to support you when times get rough. I can't count the number of ways that the women in my cohort have come together to support each other and just how much I appreciate having been introduced to them. It's really been a wonderful, life-changing, empowering experience, and I hope that you will join it as well.